Article 1 of Philippine Constitution defines the national territory, encompassing all the islands and water of archipelago, as well as any other territories under the Philippine sovereignty and jurisdiction. This article influenced educational system by shaping the content and focus of the relevant subject. Ina-encourage niya yung mga estudyante na pag-aralan yung country's history, geography, and natural resources, fostering a sense of national identity and patriotism. Article 3 of Philippine Constitution, also known as the Bill of Rights, guarantees fundamental rights and liberties for all citizens. It divided into two main parts. Section 1 to 11 covers basic freedom and rights that everyone should have. Section 12 to 22 are legal protection and rights of the accused. Bill of Rights significantly impact educational system by guaranteeing equal access to quality education, protecting freedom of expression and academic freedom, preventing discrimination, protecting student privacy, ensuring a fair and inclusive educational environment. Article 5 of Philippine Constitution focuses on the right to vote, also known as suffrage. It defines who can vote, how elections are conducted, and emphasizes the importance of this right as a fundamental part of democracy. This article ensures all Filipinos have a voice in choosing their leader and that elections are fair. Article 6 of Philippine Constitution established the Legislative Department, the branch of government which is responsible for making the laws. It defines structures, power, and functions of the Congress of the Philippines, which is composed of Senate and House of Representatives. Section 1 to 4 established the Congress as the legislative body, defined the composition of the Senate, 24 senators, and outlined the qualification and term of office per senator, 6 years and no more than 2 consecutive terms. Section 5 to 7 defined the composition of the House of Representatives, not more than 250 members, elected from legislative district and through a party list system, and outlined the qualification and term of office for representative, 3 years and no more than 3 consecutive terms. Section 8 to 11 address the election process for senators and representatives, including the regular election date, the process for filing vacancies, and the termination of salaries. Section 12 to 14 outline the ethical and legal obligation of senators and representatives, including disclosure of financial interest, restriction on holding the other government position, and limitation on legal and business activities. Section 15 to 16 define the session of Congress, including the regular session, special session, and the process for electing the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House. Section 17 to 19 establish the electoral tribunals for resolving election disputes, the presidential appointment, and the process for submitting and approving the national budget. Section 20 to 32 address the record keeping and auditing of Congress, the power of each house to conduct investigation, the process for passing bills, and the role of the presidents in approving or vetoing legislation. So, Article 6 affects the educational system in a way that Congress is responsible for approving the national budget, deciding how much money goes to school, teachers, and educational program. They also create laws that impact education, such as those related to curriculum. Article 7 of Philippine Constitution established the Executive Department, which is responsible for implementing and enforcing the laws. It also established the President as the head of the executive branch, defining the powers, qualification, responsibilities, and process of succession. Section 1 to 4 establish the President's role as the head of the executive department, define their qualification, and outline the election process. This includes the President's term of office, which is 6 years, eligibility for re-election, and the process for resolving election ties. Section 5 to 6 detail the oath of office for the President and Vice President as well as their official residence and compensation. Section 7 to 11 address the process of presidential succession in case of death, disability, or inability to serve. Section 12 to 15 defines the President's power, including the appointment of officials, control over executive departments, and the role as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Section 16 to 20 outline the President's powers of the executive clemency, the ability to contract foreign loans, negotiate treaties, and submit a budget to Congress. Article 7 shapes what students learn about the government, including executive department, the President's role, election, and how power is transferred. This helps students become active and informed citizens. Article 8 of Philippine Constitution focuses on judicial department, the branch of government which is responsible for interpreting and applying the law. It also established the Supreme Court as the highest court, defining its power, composition, qualification, and appointment process for judge. Section 1 to 3 defining the judicial power, its scope, and a Congress' role in defining court jurisdiction. It also established the judiciary's fiscal autonomy, ensuring its independence from legislature. Section 46 outlined the composition of the Supreme Courts, its power, and its administrative supervision over all courts. Section 7 to 9 detailed the qualification for judge, the creation of judicial and bar council for recommending judicial appointments, and the process for appointing judge. Section 10 to 12 addressed the salaries of judge and the prohibition against their assignment to administrative functions. Section 13 to 16 outlined the decision-making process of the Supreme Court, the requirement for clear and distinct rulings, the time frames for resolving cases, and the annual report submitted to the President and Congress. So, Article 8, establishment of an independent judiciary ensures the enforcement of laws, guaranteeing equal access to education, protects academic freedom and students' right, resolve educational disputes, and shape educational policy through its illegal interpretations. Article 14 of Philippine Constitution is all about making sure Filipinos have opportunities to grow, to learn, and express themselves. It emphasized the importance of education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sports for a thriving society. Section 1 to 5 promote a comprehensive and accessible educational system, guaranteeing the right to quality education, mandating pre-public elementary and secondary education, requiring civic education, addressing public and private institutional roles, and emphasizing regional needs and academic freedom. Section 6 to 9 promote language diversity and cultural preservation, establishing Filipino as the national language, recognizing regional language, defining official language, mandating the Constitution translation into various language, and protecting the rights of indigenous cultural communities. Section 10 to 13 promotes science and technology development, recognizing its importance for national progress, encouraging private sector involvement, regulating technology transfer, and protecting intellectual property rights. Section 14 to 18 promote the preservation and development of arts and culture, advocating for state patronage of arts and letters, protecting artistic and historical wealth, recognizing indigenous cultural rights, and ensuring equal access to cultural opportunities. Section 19 promotes sports and physical education to foster self-discipline, teamwork, and excellence. So, Article 14 of Philippines Constitution significantly impacts the educational system by mandating the state to provide quality education for all citizens, ensuring free public education in elementary and high school, prioritizing education in budget, guaranteeing academic freedom in higher learning institution, and promoting Filipino as the national language while recognizing English and regional language.